Good morning. Welcome to today's market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. I'm Matthew Buckley, call sign Wiz, and fired up, extremely fired up for day two of Full Throttle. We had a great night last night with our opening in brief, talking about my background, the background of Top Gun Options, our strategic, operational, and tactical mindset, and also our 7-step trade plan. And I covered the acronym to FEAR 2017, which are some of the areas we're going to be deploying capital and trading. So we're starting day two at 10 a.m. Eastern with our primary live trade brief. I'm going to be taking a look at two trades this morning. A short-term trade on Amazon right in front of earnings that expires next Friday. Could be potentially bringing in about $3,000 on $5,000 in risk. With about a using at-the-money volatility at yesterday's close, about a 70% probability of making that full profit. Very high probability trade, so we're going to take a look at that at 10, and also a long call diagonal with a protective put on Goldman Sachs. We talked about why last night. I think Goldman Sachs has a government put underneath it. When you have four of your former heavies in the cabinet or senior advisors, the stock ain't going out of business, and it also crushed earnings last week. Love the Death Star. Love Goldman Sachs. If you aren't registered, you still have time, man. We still have 5 live trading sessions and training sessions for the rest of the week, and you can watch yesterday's replay on the replay page. But here's where you need to go right now to grab a slot to watch the rest of our live trade briefs and training sessions. Go.topgunoptions.com/joinft. That stands for Join Full Throttle, and you'll get a slot. Here's the flight schedule down here of what we're doing the rest of the week. Doing the primary live trade brief today, accelerated retirement tomorrow at 1, with vertical spread training tomorrow night, the advanced live trade brief on Thursday, and finally our most popular on Friday, the weekly options live trade brief. I have a 2-week weekly options trade on Apple that's going down range right now that is looking phenomenal. Hello positions. So obviously it's pre-market data, but this Apple, we legged into an iron condor on Apple, and it is looking great. It's up 67%, $2,200 since last Monday. It's a nice gain, and we're looking to maybe make $3,300 by Friday. Maybe another, $1,000 to go by Friday. Loving that trade. So grab your slot. Go.topgunoptions.com/joinft. And real quick, here's the replay page. If you missed, you have to watch last night. Just don't come to these live trade briefs and go, okay, man, where are the trades? Gimme. Very tactical thinking. I don't want you on board as a member if that's the type of trader you are. There's a lot of puppy mills out there, trader mills out there for you to go to. That's not us. This is why we've been in business 7 years. We're on the best in the business. But the replays are going to be posted on this page throughout the week. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT-replay. That's Full Throttle -replay. So FT-replay is where you can see the all the replays. All right, enough of that crap. Let's get airborne. Very interesting morning, folks. I can't believe yesterday Trump meets with this big titans of industry, man. Ford, Elon Musk, a lot of heavies, Liveris from Dow, and said, hey, how are we in your way, the government? What can we do to get out of your way so you can grow your businesses and hire people? God freaking bless America. I'm very excited, but I'm a little pissed off at the social experiment for the past 8 years. This guy's going to do it. He's not a man of words. I know the initial rally after the election was the hope rally. Now we need the change rally that says, okay, here's what I took out of this meeting from these business leaders, and we're going to do it. He also met later in the day with union leaders and said the same thing. Where are your problems? And 90% of the guys he was talking to didn't vote for him. A lot of their rank and file did. There's a secret the media won't tell you. A lot of union folks, a lot of those Trump Democrats, those Reagan Democrats, which were union folks who need jobs, he spoke to them and said, what are we going to do? Folks, if I'm really sick of this, people are getting a little creeped out, and we think this rally might pull back here. Those are the same idiots that predicted Hillary winning. We didn't at TGO. I predicted a Trump win. I predicted a Trump rally, and our positions reflected it. We had the best year in 7 years at Top Gun Options, mainly because it came in September, October, November, December. I'll take it regardless. Court rules on Brexit, which says that Theresa May needs parliamentary approval to trigger Brexit. Remember, after this, it was hey man, if they voted to leave, they're leaving. I got to talk to some of my buddies who trade in London and see how that's going over locally, because that would piss me off a little bit. Hey, we had an election, man. We voted. There was no place on the ballot where it said, hey, if you vote to leave, Parliament's got to vote. What if they say no? Is there going to be a revolution now? It would be great as our our cousin or our uncle or aunt, to look across the pond back at them and see a revolution. So I'm going to keep my eyes on this. The futures are kind of relatively flat right now. Actually, this morning, now Trump's meeting with the auto CEOs. Go figure, man. Right out of this gate, this guy's caring about building jobs and keeping companies here. Now, if I sound like a Trump sycophant, I'm not. I will rip him a new one just like I did Obama for 8 years. You don't browbeat CEOs into keeping their companies in the United States. You seduce, for lack of a better word on this Tuesday morning, CEOs to stay. Lower the corporate tax. Show me first, Mr. President. Lower the corporate tax rates. Cut regulation by 75% that you're promising. I'll stay here for the rest of my life. Words now, we need to see the action. So I get why people are kind of in a holding pattern right now with, okay, well, give us some actions. If the guy doesn't do those actions, I'll tell you, all the deplorables might storm the gates, like Les Miserables. 2 years of French, 4 years of Latin, Irish Catholic guy in an Italian Catholic high school. Traders pile into VIX ETFs, a worrisome sign. Traders last week pumped the most money since October in the largest product length futures on the VIX. And again, the VIX is retail traders trading volatility as a clown car. They don't understand that the VIX actually, you're trading the futures on the VIX. They don't understand that VXX goes to zero over time. They don't understand a lot of things, and that's why they're here at TGO. So we're going to talk about that at 9 a.m. We're going to talk about this. Hey, investors are tapering their bullish bets as Trump takes office. I'll be on the other side of that trade. Folks, you want to sell into this right now? I'll be a buyer on the other side. Oil's up a little bit this morning, a little bit of a weak dollar. Everybody knows that that oil's priced in dollars, which really pisses off the Arabs and the Chinese and the Russians. And I think one day, most likely soon, although with Obama in office, it might not be, that they're probably going to try and price it in something else. But anyway, U.S. oil production is showing signs of recovery. So we actually got a little bit of a recovery. We got some increased oil production activity here in the U.S., but still the weaker dollar is helping that out a lot. We're going to talk about earnings today. We're still in the middle of earnings season. Tech earnings coming up. Apple, like I said, we have that Apple iron condor into earnings because, those tech stocks tend to channel into earnings. It's not like 2 days before earnings they're going to come out with the iPhone 92.7 with the teleportation device. That would be stupid. They probably do that after earnings. So that's why we're taking a look at that Amazon trade. Again, we're going to look at Goldman Sachs this morning, folks. It is time for the financials to retake off. We got airborne. We leveled off at an intermediate cruising altitude. Now we're getting up to a higher altitude to hit a flight level where we're going to start zipping along. I think Goldman's a $300 stock by the end of the year. And like I said, you got a Goldman put underneath it. Just like we have an ExxonMobil put underneath our, I put on a long call diagonal last week on ExxonMobil. Rex Tillerson just got voted out of committee yesterday to be the Secretary of State. Great deal. And, I don't think Exxon is going to zero in the next 4 years or however long he serves. The guy was there for 43, 45 years. And when your former skipper is now the Secretary of State, I think that's kind of bullish. I'm not implying that he's going to be channeling deals there or Clinton Foundation, Secretary of State. But let's just say it's going to be relatively bullish, especially with his ties to Putin. Folks, I couldn't be more happy. This is our biggest full throttle launch in history. We've been around for 7 years. Men lie, numbers don't. Look at the registrants for today's, for the rest of the sessions. We have 6 sessions. We did one last night. Survey said we have 3,651 traders and investors of all stripes. Next time you go to a competitor or somebody else other than I's webinar, ask them to see the number of opt-ins they have. Nobody unzips their flies and shows you that number. I do, because we had a record year in 2017, triple-digit returns in all of our portfolios on risk. If you can tell I'm excited, I am, and I didn't even drink this cup of coffee yet to get my morning started. So I got to go. We got to get to Airborne at 10 for the primary live trade brief. If you're like, crap, I'm watching this at 1, don't worry about it. If you sign up, you're going to get an urgent alert that I do this afternoon in your inbox. It's about 15, 20-minute video that I'm going to do, breaking out a trade. It might be a bullish double vertical on VXX. We might talk about vol in that video. Might surprise you guys. go.topgunoptions.com/joinft for join full throttle. Because I'm a nice guy, I'll throw a $45 value options pocket checklist at you. Whenever I went flying in the Hornet, I couldn't go flying with the flight manual. It was like a phone book. We squeeze that thing, during our workout sessions down into a PCL, a pocket checklist, an 8x10. These are the critical things you need to know flying and fighting the Hornet, and if something goes wrong, that's what you get with options just for registering. Even if you don't even come to anything, that's my gift to you. Okay, gotta go. We're airborne, full throttle, day 2. Get aboard, be there, be square. I'll talk to you guys at 10 a.m. or throughout the rest of the week. Have a great day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. And